It's the Monday night matches, but it's a Friday night. We're here at 377 Arena in Stephenville, Texas. I'm Lizzie Iverson with your champions, Wade and Wesley Thorp. You guys, you came out the champions tonight, and I just talked to Coleman Proctor, and he gave you some props. So do you feel like you deserve the props that you got?
I guess. I know that we all kind of didn't have a great night, so it was decent watching, but it could have been a lot better because when Coleman gets tapped, he's hard to beat.
So what do you think was your strength tonight?
I think that honestly, just kind of I felt like our run was shaping up a little bit faster than theirs. A couple times that we put a time on the board at the front, and they caught and was just a little bit longer, and I think that kind of wears on you at times when you're doing good, and then they're beating you on time. I've been beat on time here a couple times where just, whether it's the horse or the start or the day or whatever you're doing to get a better flag or dropping the clock faster. So it just kind of come together for us tonight.
Yeah. Thorp, tell me a little bit. There was some ups and downs tonight. How did you keep your mental game together?
Well, my partner started off doing really good, and I just knew, the steers were sharp, and so they're fresh, so it was good to just, I kind of like that because it happens out in the arena. Like, you can't just get lucky, nail the barrier, and blast one. Like, you got to get out in the arena and make a good run. And I just felt like the way our run was shaping up, I had faith in it. And I just had, I knew that it would be good over time. So I just kind of wanted to stay the course. And I made a couple little mistakes, like super small errors. It was a new horse I was riding, and he honestly felt really good. And I made just mental errors on my part. And once I kind of got it, a little more grounded and rode him how I was supposed to ride him, it felt really good, and our run felt good. Tyler was getting out in the arena, turning them. It didn't feel like we were panicked at any point of the night, so that was kind of the main thing. Just stay the course and ride it out and try to let them make more mistakes,
Do you guys laugh at all during the night?
We laughed before a lot, but there's a lot of crap talking going on, and we laughed before pretty good. But honestly, we're all competitive. We want to win, and playtime's over once we get out there.
Okay. So you guys are fixing to head, I guess, next time. We'll see you maybe in Vegas. What's happening between now and then? How are you preparing?
Wesley and I are going to rope a bunch. We got quite a few good horses now. We're going to be at every jackpot and rodeo there is, and I'm sure we'll practice quite a bit and just get ready to try to keep making a living with our rope.
Did tonight help you in any way get ready for Vegas?
Yeah, I think it was cool just because the steers were fresh and it was sharp, but you had to be on offense per se sometimes, and then sometimes you had to be on, stop the clock. So it was good to be kind of not just get stuck in a rhythm of one, particular dimension. So I just thought it was good to kind of get a different feel for different types of situations. And main thing, like, in this deal, it's steer by steer, so you want to win the steer for what it is. It doesn't matter if you have to be 9 or 4. So I think anytime you get a situation like that, you got enough control in your run where you can play both sides of the field, that always plays a big factor. Even as fast as it is out there, you need to be able to slow down at certain times and, be mid-4 and make it feel comfortable instead of feel like you're always having to press or only have one throw. So I think that's, tonight, definitely this format plays into that.
And how often will you guys get together and rope before Vegas?
We'll go to at least anywhere from 2 to 4 jackpots a week. A couple of rodeos between now and then, and come closer to November, I'm sure we'll practice at least 2 to 3 days a week, whether it's my house or his. So we'll get to run a lot of steers together, and competition and practicing for that scenario. So we'll get to run a lot of steers.
Is this a great time of year for you, getting ready to go out to Vegas?
Yeah, it's exciting, honestly. It's probably the most fun practice you'll have is practicing for the NFR. There's no barrier, so it's a little bit easier, and you literally just practice going fast the whole time. So we get to be home every night and just get practice going at them, and there's a ton of money to be made at the jackpots between here and there, and just like the match tonight and everywhere else. There's a lot of opportunities to make a living with a rope. It's what we love to do.
Yeah, how do you feel about getting to make a living with a rope?
I didn't make a living for a long time with my rope, so some of the hard work's paying off, I guess you could say. There's better ways to make a living, but there's no better way to live, I don't think. So it's fun and just exciting and get to do. And like you said, just having horses coming along and everything we're doing, it's good to ride a couple different ones out here and just get a feel for every situation and make sure, like, I think one of the biggest deals about this match that's so cool is, like, you might be 5'4", and then the next run we had to be 23-9 or something like that. So, like, just the best guys can do both and they can adapt. They don't just have one run or the next, and we get to see that here today.
Getting ready for Vegas, how do you feel about being able to make a living with a rope and support your family, being a part of this industry?
Oh, I think it's cool. I mean, there's a lot of good things going on in our industry. I mean, from the horses to the ropings to the rodeos and new people getting involved in the sport. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of great opportunity. And I just feel like, anytime you have a chance to progress in what you're doing and your craft, it'll pay off down the road. So it's definitely a fun time to be in the sport and to try to work at it and get as good as I can. That's the main thing and kind of what I've always dreamed of doing. So I guess you could say living the dream in a roundabout way.
Also, there were some young kids tonight, the undercards. I can't imagine that they don't look up to you guys. So is it fun to see kids like that following in your footsteps?
Sometimes it's embarrassing that the undercard might be tougher than the main match, round for round. Those kids were going at them and they roped good, and it's fun to watch. Just like I was growing up, I used to be able to just only be fast. I couldn't, and catch about 10% of them. I couldn't catch them all. So it's funny to watch all these kids adapt and how they go about it. And then there's a lot to learn, and nobody quits learning. So it's fun to see how fast they can go too.
What about you? I know you have kids yourself, and just seeing the next generation come up, what do you feel about it?
I think it's fun for them and fun for us just to get to see them involved in the same format, same setup, and they get to kind of learn how to adapt to the different setups, and it's not just one-dimensional. They got to know that you got to be fast, you got to be able to catch, because when they give you where all you got to do is put a time on the board, you got to be crunch there. And I think, that's something we didn't really get this opportunity when we were growing up, and I just think anything like that where you mix the pros with the kids and get them involved and they have a chance to get in front of other people at a young age and get some promotion and stuff like that. I think that's great for anything like that, because there's going to be people that are kind of starting to see them now, and 10 years from now it all builds up, it compounds. So the value in what they're doing now is, whether they realize it or not, it really will be worth something one day.
I don't know if we got it on camera, but was there any final smack talking going on after all was said and done?
The smack talking came before, and like I said, we're all so serious and we want to win that better than to say anything, no matter if it's going good or bad. But those guys can rope. They rope just as good as anybody, and just because somebody wins a match or loses a match doesn't mean they're better or worse than the other team. And today was our day, and I've been over here where it wasn't my day, and I've been beat a couple times, and we've won a couple too. But honestly, it's fun to do, but like how you beat somebody or not beat them, it's not like fighting. Any day it can change.
Yeah.
So.
But are you going to hold this over?
But I damn sure beat him, that's for sure.
Let's be real. So, final thoughts. How's it feel?
Oh, I thought it was cool. I mean, we both, as much as we talked about it, that team we see them all year, and they're extremely fast. I mean, there's nobody that can go faster than them. And, Coleman's always the guy that shows up in the big setups, the big money. I mean, comes through, and it's he's just got a really fast style that his head horse's footwork and his style, and Logan's heel horses. So I mean, we definitely didn't underestimate the situation. Yeah. I mean, we talked about that a lot. Like there was, it wouldn't have surprised us if they would have been 5 flat 9 times in a row and made us have to, work for it really hard. So luckily they. It didn't work out. They weren't on that. The ring wasn't around them. The ring of fire wasn't around them today to where they were killing them. But I don't feel like we roped our best either. So we just kind of did what we did to get by each situation and win. And I mean, it always feels good to win. It doesn't really matter how you win as long as you come out on top. So whatever it takes to win for the day and for the steer, it's kind of what matters to me. And I'm pretty good about letting the rest, roll off the back. So
great. Well, it's fun to watch. Pleasure to see all of your horses work so well. And just proud to be here, and best of luck moving forward. We'll see you in Vegas, and good luck in between now and then.
Thank you.
Yeah.